Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and as shocking as it was to watch a Scarlet Witch massacre the Illuminati in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, all of this was nearly even more horrifying now that the digital release and director commentary is revealing some deleted scenes and concept art, rejected characters, script drafts, and pitches that were just way too dark for the final cut. And because I prefer to live in a timeline where everyone is crying, allow me to paint the picture of the bloodbath and the freak show that Multiverse of Madness could have been and maybe should have been. So weeks ago, we learned that the film initially opened with a dark alternate opening scene following 616 Mordo after the 2016 Doctor Strange film, now tracking down Wanda Maximoff and getting I actually found a visual of this encounter in one of the official posters showing Mordo, his sword strapped to his back, approaching that same ruined home that appears in the background of Wanda's orchard hellscape, and you could see a demonic Wanda staring out at him from the window. And now director Sam Raimi explains what this scene was and why it was cut. He said Michael had written an early scene with Chiwetel where we saw him in our universe 616, where he was the Mordo that we knew from Doctor Strange 1, only he had been through many battles since that. He had a limp, and he was coming after the Scarlet Witch to take her power because he knew she was dark and terribly corrupted by the Darkhold. She killed him and cut off his head, presented it to Strange in a later scene, but it slowed the beginning down too much and we had to lose it. Yeah, it's not so much the beheading, it's Wanda presenting this head to Strange in the later scene, like a fresh melon in a farmer's market. Actually, I have focused a lot on that random close-up of the Volker's apple crate in that orchard scene, and I am willing to bet that in the original cut, after Wanda warped the orchard back to its true state, that crate would have contained the severed head of Mordo. This dark imagery evokes a rejected premise from Marcus McFeely for Avengers Endgame that would have shown the Avengers returning from the time heist to see in alternate reality Thanos sitting on a throne of skulls and rolling to their feet the severed head of Captain America. But Mordo wasn't going to be the only savage kill in this movie, bringing us to the Illuminati sequence. In the audio commentary, Michael Waldron revealed that Hope Van Dyne Wasp was in a version of the Illuminati of this movie. He said, quote, "Yeah, I think I watched Aliens and was just thinking about the way those Marines get massacred, and yeah, I was glad it worked. I think originally the Wasp was in a version of the Illuminati, and the Wasp shrunk down and flew at Wanda, and Wanda just clapped her hands and just smushed the Wasp in the first draft." Yikes. Concept art from artist Alexandra Mandragiev shows an alternate version of Professor X's death where Charles stays in his green blazer and tries to rescue Wanda from the rubble while a demonic Scarlet Witch stalks through that rubble looking for him, making this more of an active cat and mouse scene as opposed to what we saw in the movie, a looming red cloud with a demonic exorcist Wanda popping out of that cloud to snap his neck or actually rip his face in half. There was also some leaked previs concept art showing Strange being brought in by those Ultron sentries in front of Professor X, except this Illuminati is less of the pristine museum hall of the Baxter Foundation, but rather a grimier, cramped room with hexagonal sketches on the wall for the 6 members of the Illuminati. There was also a version of the sequence that would have included an insane badass Wang helping Wanda massacre all these Illuminati members. Waldron has pointed out that it's kind of an unanswered question where Wang is in the 838 universe. Actually, concept art from artist Dean Sheriff showed an even more flowery version of the 838 Manhattan, but includes Wang with Doctor Strange in America, meaning this would have been a version of the movie in which Wang was not left in 616 with Wanda. Waldron also explained to our friends at the House of Our Ringerverse podcast, Mallory Rubin and Joanna Robinson, that one version of Wang would have been a Vegas magician turned Schwarzenegger action hero.
My very first draft had, instead of Wanda throwing Wong off the side of the mountain, she rewrites him. But instead of rewriting him sitcom style, she rewrites him into an 80s style action hero, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. And then she takes him into the dream walk and he possesses his 838 self, who in this version became disillusioned with Kamar-Taj and is just a disgruntled Vegas magician. So we called him Vegas Wong. So it was like him. There was like a scene of him performing magic on stage and then going back and smoking a cigarette. And then he gets possessed and basically becomes this Arnold Schwarzenegger Wong. He was with Wanda in the assault on the Illuminati.
You may have also seen in Sheriff's concept art a busker in 838, kind of like a Bert from Mary Poppins with a bunch of instruments strapped to him. I assume this is what turned into the comedic cameo by Bruce Campbell as the vendor Pizza Papa, but at one point there was a character named Melvin Strange, magician of Strange without any magic. That might be why Pizza Papa in that scene accused 616 Strange of stealing the Strange wardrobe from the Strange Museum. By the way, there were a few alternate takes of Bruce Campbell as Pizza Papa, including one from the post-credit scene.
It's over. Dr. Strange has not seen the last of the Pizza Papa!
There were also a few things removed from the multiverse montage. The frame store artists behind this revealed that they removed a universe based on the art of James Turrell, and in the cube world, they actually had to make the cubes that Strange in America divide into much larger and only slowly separating from their face, because originally they went way too small with the cubes, showing more of the bloody chunks of flesh on the other side of the skin from the inside. It just basically looked like their bodies exploding into blood, and it was terrifying. They also released the deleted footage of Strange and Christine from their past as surgeons, doing an interview for WHIH, that of course is the in-universe MCU news network, about the Strange Palmer method of removing part of the spinal column to allow paralyzed patients to walk again. This actually reads as something more from the era of the 2016 film, but might have been part of the flashback of the memory lane bank in 838 when Strange revisits his dinner date with Christine when she gave him the watch. Waldron also detailed an alternate ending, or at least an ending that more fully explains what happens in the theatrical cuts ending. Waldron said that the original plan was to answer the question posed by this exchange.
How are you feeling?
Why do you ask?
You used the dark code to dreamwalk into your own corpse.
Oh, yeah, right, that. Fine.
Of course, the theatrical ending shows Strange's third eye opening as he screams, and then we cut to black. But according to Waldron, the original plan was to show our 616 Strange trapped in the post-incursion universe, and then back at 616, who we thought was 616 Strange, turns around, and that third eye opens, revealing him to be Sinister Strange, swapped places with our Strange, followed by the laugh of the horror icon Vincent Price, echoing the final moment of Michael Jackson's Thriller. So yes, Sinister Strange and 616 Strange swapped places. And this is being reported as an alternate ending, but really, I just think it's an alternate, sillier version of how we are meant to interpret the ending that we saw in the theatrical cut. I really think that is what happened here. When 616 Strange collapses, screaming, and that third eye opens, I think that is meant to suggest that Sinister Strange, who was left alive in the post-incursion universe, is now dreamwalking into 616's body. That because 616 Strange used the Darkhold to dreamwalk into Defender Strange's corpse and attached himself to the souls of the damned, that left 616's body and his soul exposed to hijacking even without the use of the Darkhold. But this alternate version would have made it a bit clearer exactly what was going on here, leaving 616 Strange stranded in the post-incursion universe, which also, if you think about it, would make it a bit more menacing to see this three-eyed Strange teaming up with Clea in the second post-credit scene. Their venture into the dark dimension now seems far less heroic and more villainous. This is a team-up of bad guys. I want to know from you, which of these scenes would you have preferred to have stayed in the theatrical cut of the movie? Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.